today I am on a little mini adventure. Well, it's an adventure for me. It's probably not very adventurous for other people, but it feels like a bit of an adventure for me. I'm not used to doing things on my own, which I know sounds a bit daft, but I mean, I've worked on my own obviously, but going out for the day and doing things. Oh, there's a big bus coming. Let me just pull in here and I'll let him through because he's bigger than I am. Yeah, I'm not used to doing things on my own, like going out for the day to somewhere. I'm happy to go and have a coffee in a cafe on my own, and you know, I've stayed in hotels and things on my own for business. But actually going and doing something on my own isn't something I've done. But today I'm going to, and I'm going to take you along with me. But I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I want to try and do things that just, I don't know, I realised a few years ago that despite many years of believing I was an extrovert, turns out I'm not. I did Myers-Briggs, you know, the Myers-Briggs psychometric test thing many years ago, and I came out as ENFP. I can't remember what they all stand for. Is it extroversion? I can't remember what the N is. Feeling and perceptive, I think. Can't remember what they all are, but the one that stuck was the extrovert. And I'll be honest, I always thought I was an extrovert, partly because I didn't really understand the difference between introversion and extroversion. I think I always thought it was like socially comfortable or socially awkward and shy, and I've never been shy. But actually, when COVID hit and we went into, well, I think it was a combination of two things really. COVID hitting and also leaving work and starting to work for myself and spending a lot of time on my own in an office on my own, I realised actually I am so comfortable with my own company, and I really like time on my own. And it was really odd because all the years I thought I was an extrovert, I would go and do things that you would expect an extrovert to do and hate every minute of it, like going out in big groups for, you know, to pubs and having drinks and parties and things. And actually I would go along and I'd hate it. But I'd feel like I ought to be there because that's what an extrovert does. But I could never work out why. I was never the life and soul of the party, and I always wanted to go home early, or even worse, you know, the way that I used to get around it or get through it was just to get drunk, to be honest, have too much to drink. That bit of Dutch courage. Oh, busy junction. Whoa, this is busy. Be back in a minute. Need to concentrate. Blimey, right, here we go. Yeah, I do all these things that I thought an extrovert should do, and then I wouldn't enjoy any of them. COVID came, and being in lockdown it's kind of forced me into spending time on my own, because Mark was still able to work, so he was out working. And I was stuck at home, as many of us were, and I loved it. I know that sounds awful. I know many people found COVID a real challenge, but of course I did in some ways. But spending time on my own with my, you know, in my own company, really didn't find that a problem at all. And over the last few years of working for myself, when I've been networking and things like that, I can do it. I can do it. I don't love it. But I can do it. But it got me questioning the whole introversion extroversion thing, and I redid my Myers-Briggs assessment just a few weeks ago. I didn't do the full-blown thing, but I just did an online one, and it still came out as extrovert. But when I looked at the definition in terms of Myers-Briggs, I probably do fit the extrovert criteria, because, well, more that I don't fit the introvert criteria. I'm not a deep thinker. Well, maybe I I might have a combination of conflicts, like the ADHD, lack of attention to detail. But then I think about just doing this YouTube channel, the amount of depth and detail I've gone into in trying to learn how to do YouTube is probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe I am more of an introvert than, the Myers-Briggs version of introversion than I thought. But so anyway, let me tell you about today. So I've had a bit of a busy morning, not massively busy, but now I'm not working. We don't have a cleaning lady anymore, so that comes down to me. So I just did a bit of cleaning in the kitchen this morning, had a lovely smoothie for my breakfast. I'm desperately trying to get back on track with losing weight. I did very well. I lost about 22 pounds last year, and I've put a few of them back on, and I don't want to put them back on. So I had a nice smoothie for breakfast this morning. The thing is, I get into the habit of it's late night snacking really, because I don't go to bed particularly early. After Mark's gone to bed, I kind of go in the kitchen and get a drink, and then there's normally a bit of chocolate, because one of the biggest problems about having a tendency to put weight on, the biggest challenge to that is being married to somebody who's naturally very, very thin, slim, very active, high metabolism, burns calories like, you've nobody's business. I remember years and years ago going on the Rosemary Conley diet. Does anybody remember that one? And basically it was low fat. It was when low fat diets were all the fad. And I did all right the first week. I lost 2 pounds. I was quite happy with that. Mark lost 3 pounds, and he couldn't afford to lose any. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So anyway, it is quite hard being in a relationship with somebody who's naturally skinny when you're prone to put weight on yourself, and I am very prone to put weight on. So anyway, getting back to my smoothie, I'm trying to get back on track and eat more healthily and cut out the midnight snacks. So dropped my little granddaughter at school today as well. It's World Book Day today, and she's gone dressed as Roald Dahl's Matilda. She looked amazing. I'll see if I can put a photograph up. She just looked so sweet, and she was dead proud because she managed to do her hair bow herself. I mean, she could tie a bow obviously, but it's quite tricky, isn't it, when you're trying to do it in your hair. She got it beautiful, it looked lovely. So she's gone off as Matilda. I was singing Waltzing Matilda to her this morning, but she looked at me like I was a bit nuts. I don't think she'd ever heard of a billy bong. No, I haven't got a clue what the words to Waltzing Matilda mean either. And then I came back from the school run, packed up my bags for a day out. There's something lovely about doing YouTube because it forces you to go and find content. And I really, really want to do things on my own anyway, partly because a lot of my friends are still working, so they can't just, take off at the drop of a hat. And I've got to do things on my own. Mark's still working, and although we do a lot of things together when we go away in the van, he's not always there to do things with. So I've got to get better at this. So I've got a whole load of things planned. I was looking, I got an email the other day, I can't remember who it was from, but it was talking about this exhibition in London. London's about an hour on the train from me, so it's doable. And the thing is, I've been to London loads and loads of times before, and I can find my way around London brilliantly underground, but I've never really spent an awful lot of time above ground. So every time I've been down to London, with the exception of once or twice when I've gone with Mark and the kids, it's always been for work, and all I've been doing is literally getting the train, getting the tube, getting to the venue I was delivering training at, or you know, working at, whatever, getting back on the tube, back on the train and back home. So I'd never really get the chance to go and just sightsee, I suppose, be a tourist in London. But I got this email the other day that was talking about some exhibition that was on, looking at the history of the catwalk, and I think it's narrated by Kate Blanchett, and it looked really good, and it wasn't expensive. I think it was only something like £22 or something. Obviously I'd then have to get my train ticket down there, etc., but that sounded really good. And the other thing I would really like to do is to just, I think I've said this in a previous video, just jump on the train to a city for the day and spend the train journey just relaxing, reading, not doing any work, because whenever I've got the train in the past for work, I've generally had my laptop and I've been working while I was travelling. Don't want to do that. I don't even want to edit videos. I don't want to be working on the train. I just want to be relaxing, reading a book, listening to music. Go somewhere just for the day, maybe go up to York or get the train to Newcastle and spend the day there. Have a bit of lunch, do a bit of sightseeing, jump back on the train and come home. And that would feel like a little mini adventure as well. The other thing I definitely want to do is take our van away, our camper van away on my own, and have an overnighter somewhere just on my own, because I've never done it. I've never even driven it with just me in it, let alone stay somewhere. So yeah, that's something I want to do as well. I've just realised I haven't put the sat nav on, and I don't know where I'm going, so I'm going to have to pull over somewhere and put the sat nav on. I've just come up to a roundabout and I don't know if I'm meant to go straight over or turn, and hope that I don't have to double back on myself, and see if I can find a lay-by that I can put the sat nav on. I was obviously way too excited to get talking to you and I forgot. Right, you watch, I won't be able to find a lay-by. Oh, there's one. Right, sorry person behind. I know that was a little bit of a short notice manoeuvre. Okay, I've arrived. Let me tell you where I am. I've come to Woodhall Spa, and I'm going to be watching Bridget Jones's the new Bridget Jones movie at what is known as the Cinema in the Woods, which is the UK's oldest cinema. I think it was built in 1922, and it's the only cinema in the UK, might be the world, but I think it's the UK, that still uses back projection. So I thought that would be a lot of fun, but I'm going to go for a walk in the woods first, if I can just find a good map. So let me see if there's a board or anything with a map. There doesn't seem to be, in which case I might just start wandering and see where we get to. It's another lovely day. It was a bit chilly when I came out. Oh, private land. There is no public access in these woods. Right, okay, so I won't be walking through the woods then. It's a bit of a shame. Let's have a little walk along the main road, I think, then into Woodhall. I think this is what puts me off doing things on my own, because I get here and think, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go, don't know which direction to start in. Mark's just seems to have an inbuilt sense of direction. I know he's done a huge amount of sort of orienteering over the years, and I think that makes him very confident. But let's have a little look. I'm going to turn you around so you can see what I can see. Okay, I've just remembered to put my microphone on, so that first bit might not be very good quality audio, but you see, it's quite pretty, isn't it? Oh, I might not be allowed in the woods, but I have found a little pathway that said welcome Woodland Trust, so I can only assume this I'm allowed to walk on. That weird tree. Isn't nature funny? You see that? Oh. People are using it as a litter bin. The beautiful blue sky against the trees. Oh, it's just lovely, isn't it? I can understand why they say getting out in nature is good for your mental health. Ah, well, that was a bit short-lived. We're back out onto the main road now. I'm going to have a wander into the main part of the town. See if I can grab a cup of coffee. Maybe read a bit of my book. I've got a couple of hours until... Oh, that sun's bright. Until the film starts. Let's see what Woodhall has got to offer. You too. Plenty of cafes to choose from by the looks of it. Oh, and a charity shop. Yeah, I'm not buying anything today. I'm going to be good. I think I'm going to do a little bit of walking around the town and find somewhere to have a cup of coffee and maybe a little bite of lunch, because I won't be buying or eating anything while I'm in the cinema. Or the kinema. I wonder why it's called a kinema. I need to find out, really. I haven't Googled it, but I'm going to take a guess. I wonder how far off I'll be. I wonder if it originally was called Kinney rather than Cine, and it's been changed over the years. Because if you think about it, when movies came along, before moving pictures, all they'd had were static photographs. And I'm thinking Kinney as in kinesthetic, as in movement. And I wonder if that's where kinema came from. I don't know. I'm kind of making it up. I'm going to go and check out the root of why it's called a kinema instead of a cinema and see if I can find that out. Woodhall Spa Library. Interesting find on World Book Day. Keep saying I'm going to join the library again in my town, and I haven't so far. It's nice to see a library thriving in the middle of a town. I think so many are dying these days. Oh, that's shut, that's a shame. There's the tea house in the woods. I could do that, I suppose. But I don't think I'm done with the town yet. Everywhere looks nice on a sunny day, doesn't it? Okay. What, the smallest shoe shop? Is that the small shop or small shoes, I wonder? Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Oh, this looks like an Aladdin's cave. He's cute.
Can I just check you've done for a reason?
Just a YouTube.
Oh no, it's fine.
And I'm just visiting Woodhall, so
No,
if you're not happy
no,
about...
it's absolutely fine, yeah. It's just if somebody came in, I'd make them aware, that was all. So.
Yeah, I don't try not to film people.
Oh, right, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's great, thank you.
I love places like this. They're like a little Aladdin's cave. You can get lost in them. That's so lovely. Look at that light. I must have a thing about lights, I think. Very nice. As lovely as it is, I won't be going in there because that is not going to help with the old diet. I'm also trying to be a bit more minimalist in the house, but all those colours, I do like bold colours. I wish I had the flair to be able to pull it all together. I haven't got that artistic flair, and if money was no object, I would love to get an interior designer to come in and really personalise our house. But as it happens, it's okay. It's okay. But it's certainly nothing special. So what have we got here? Another cafe. I'm taking it that Woodhall Spa is something of a tourist spot. Oh, that was loud. Pincushion interiors. Perhaps I need to go and do an interior design course. Maybe I could do that. The Broadway Shopping Centre. Let's have a little mooch in here. I love all the little out of the way, tucked away places. Oh, sorry for the light going a little bit wobbly. It's funny lighting in here. So I've stopped at a little cafe called Little Dorrit's, and I'm just sat outside because it's way too nice to be sat indoors. And the two cafes that were recommended couldn't get outside because they were busy. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee and a bacon bap, which probably isn't. Hiya. Thank you very much.
Did you want sugar?
No, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Probably isn't the healthiest of options, but it was all pretty much cakes and things, so I've gone for a bacon bap. And I'm sat just in this glorious sunshine. I've got a wobbly table. Sorry?
I can't see what you're talking to that.
I'm talking to the camera. That's all right. I vlog, I do YouTube videos. My table's got a proper wobble. Nice coffee though. Sorry?
Oh, I'm not on it.
No, it's pointing at me. Don't worry, it's pointing at me. I'm going to have to put my sunglasses on actually, it's quite bright. Going in. Right, so I have not been able to find out why the kinema is called kinema and not cinema. I can't find it anywhere on the internet. It just seems to be because it is, which isn't really much of an answer. Wikipedia couldn't tell me, even the Kinema in the Woods own website doesn't seem to tell you why it's called a kinema. So if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments, because it's driving me nuts not knowing. On that note, I am going to head off and make my way back to the kinema. I've got about an hour and a half before I get there, but I do get a little bit of sort of anxiety if I think I'm going to be late for something. So I'm going to head off now. I did find out though in my little bit of research that the first movie ever meant to be shown at the Kinema in the Woods was called The Lion Eaters, but it didn't arrive on time, so they had to watch a Charlie Chaplin film instead. But I can't help thinking, in 1922, the idea of just seeing a moving picture must have been so exciting. And there it is, the Kinema in the Woods. Have a look at the time. What time is it? I've got an hour, so I'm going to go and have a cold drink in the tea house in the woods.
Here you come.
I'm not driving for another 3 hours or so. I'm tempted to have a little glass of Prosecco. Celebrate the nice weather. This isn't doing the diet any good though, is it? I think Prosecco is probably one of the better ones, isn't it? Hello, can I get a glass of Prosecco, please?
Yeah, the normal one or the rosé?
The normal one, please.
No problem.
And a Diet Pepsi.
Yeah. Would you like a receipt at all?
No, I'm all right, thank you very much.
That's lovely. Pop that on the table for me, we'll bring that out.
Lovely, thank you. Very quick.
Yes, have the Prosecco both for you.
They are, yes.
Lovely.
Cheers. What's retirement if you can't indulge yourself with a midday glass of Prosecco? So this is the tea house in the woods. And it's literally a cafe and restaurant set right in the middle of the woods, not literally just around the corner from the Kinema. And it's been around for over a century. And it was originally built to serve visitors when this was a thriving Victorian spa destination. And it is absolutely lovely. Well, I have to say, this place is lovely. I've got about 30 minutes before I go into the cinema. I'm hoping they might let me in and do a little bit of filming. Obviously not the film, I'm not going to film the movie, but hopefully they'll let me film the interior of the cinema, because I think it looks absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. It was so good. Proper tearjerker. I wasn't expecting it to be a tearjerker. But, do you know what was lovely? Just spending the afternoon in the cinema on my own. I was like, it's like I was transported to a completely different place. I just switched off completely for the full time of the film. It was lovely, and they had an intermission. I haven't been in a film where they had an intermission for ages, and now I don't know if that's just Bridget Jones has an intermission or if that was because it was an old style cinema. I don't know, I'll have to look it up. But that's me done for today. I've had an absolutely brilliant day just doing this all on my own. Really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to do it again. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.